Welcome to the 2022 PDGA United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships. My name is Zachary O'Haron, and on the commentator's mic with me I have Papa Wolf. How you doing, Papa?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for bringing me in the booth.
I'm super excited to see this event. We are at Kensington Metro Park here for how many years has it been? Almost 20, right?
Almost 20.
Almost 20 years worth of AmNats being here at this park, and we have a great card for you here, starting off with Ty. What do we got going on?
Ty is my main friend from Wolfpack Disc, MVP. Ty Alfano from Sterling Heights, Michigan. And then we have Harrison Scheib, one of our friends from Bend, Oregon. Shout out to the Dosses at Bevel over there. And Paul Krans, literally one of the nicest people at this event. Super polite.
Totally agree.
And rounding us off, our friend from Homer, Alaska, Clint Fournier.
Fun fact, he's 4,061 miles away. Big travel, second largest traveler for this event this year.
Only to Tim Bohan, shout out my man from Australia.
We have hole 1 here, 477 feet, unchanged. Some of this layout is different from last year. Some great changes. We're going to see them all here. Pretty standard, I would say forehand. If you have that power trying to attack this basket, you can throw backhand. It's a little trickier to control that angle.
Up first,
look at that good-looking guy.
Afano.
Oh, yeah. Celebrity shout out here. Did the announcing for all 3 rounds.
Yep, had a great time. Pretty blessed to do that. Hopefully we'll be asked back next year.
Ty's going to go with a backhand. Not usually a forehand player. We'll see mostly backhands out of this guy. But he's got lots of power, more than in his range here.
Shout out to Nick Green, spotted all 3 days on hole 1 down there. Big shout out to Nick Green.
Yeah, extra shout out for all the spotters in general, too, because this event goes much smoother with all that volunteer work and the spectacular job from the spotters and everyone else.
Paul had the opportunity to throw a couple different shots off hole 1 throughout the weekend, and man, did he have just some great success.
Clint Fournier.
Putting himself just outside circle there, it looks like.
Clint, very excited to be here. Just really happy for him. And boom, just a great start. He's going to get to the ground a little bit faster than he wanted, but that's playable for sure.
Almost gets all the way to the basket with that roller.
And finally, we have Harrison.
Not sure if it was 100% intended, but it worked out.
There was a little bit of a wind coming up that hill that day. Harrison loved his hat.
Harrison reminds me a lot of a previous person we filmed here. Is just the way he approaches and runs and stuff. It was very similar to someone. See if you guys can guess who it is. I'll probably reveal who it is in a couple holes.
A teaser, if you will.
Teaser, yes. The only hint I'll give you is we filmed him last year. He just reminds me of the way he throws. Kind of the same stylistically.
Puts himself right up in the circle. Gonna have a nice look right there. Clint's down on a knee. There we go. Just a safe. Always good to start with a 3. Ty went for an adventure into the woods.
Yeah, we were having some fun in the jungle there. A little overhead. Just get himself out there. He's going to have a tap in, I think.
Ooh, that wind got it.
Yep.
A little bit of excitement, a little bit of wind. Oh.
Can't make the comebacker.
That's right. Spoiler alert. He does a great job the rest of the tournament.
It's first-time jitters. That's what we're going to say.
Harrison did the business. There we go, Paul.
A couple cleanups here. Every hole in this event for this round averaged over par. This hole, no exception. Kind of a tricky one. Very similar to some other events. I feel like if this hole was like hole 12, it wouldn't be as difficult as it is. But because it's hole 1 off the tee, lots of wind read to do, it kind of plays a little harder. And it's a great first hole to start off on. And
yeah.
Now we're off to hole 2, though.
Hole 2's got just uphill. How do you want to attack it? Do you want to throw to the bottom so you have a flat run up to throw up the hill? Or do you want to see how high up that hill you can get and then throw from an off-balanced attack up to the top here? What's nice about this, regular size basket, no additional elevated basket like you may see at D-Glow. You do not want to miss right or left. Just play for the fairway. Easier said than done. I understand that. All right, Clint goes for the flat ground. Love it.
You might be asking why these guys are going in a different order. Their order on the PDGA Live was different than what was being announced. So when they got up there, they're like, wait, make sure that they switched it over to what the card was so that it was consistent.
Yeah, the starter just read off the same sheet all day. So he's a good-looking guy, but maybe not the smartest guy in the book.
I don't blame I think it's just a printout. Whoever printed it out.
There we go. Harrison's going to work right towards that middle. Hopefully settles down nicely.
Common landing spot. That right side opens you up a little more hyzer on the upshot there. Makes it easier to hit that second landing spot or attack it if you have that power. Paul's going to be a little more aggressive here.
Yeah, he's going to flip something, and bam. Anytime you get Donut to turn around, that's a great shot.
That's very true. 100%. He always tries to put himself in a position to come throw past me if he can.
Boom. Nice and smart. Again, keeping it in the fairway. Harrison's going to see how much he can bite off of this hill.
Let's try to get a little more aggressive.
And boom. Look at that. I believe that's called the middle of the fairway. Ty's got a little bit longer run up.
Yeah, he's a little more pinched off on this angle, but he's very good at backhands and he's very good at hyzer control, so not a problem for him.
No. Ty also had the only broom out of the 158 competitors all
No
week.
way.
Yep, only broom.
So every player after him, you better thank him because every TP got swept.
Looks like Paul will go a little bit early. Finds himself in the cabbage on the left side. Clint's got plenty of space to get up there.
Yeah, he's a little lower than he probably wants to be, but I mean, as long as he can get this to get off back to the left.
Yep, that's going to scoot towards it. Maybe we'll give him an edge of circle putt.
I think he's just outside, if I recall correctly. Ty's throwing him probably an envy of some type or some stable putter.
Yep.
And that looks really good. That's in right by the basket.
Yep. Good shot there, Donut. Harrison's going to, knowing him, going to throw a little bit higher, have it drop in.
Yeah, he likes to land it a little softer.
Ooh, went for the bucket maybe. Still leaves himself a fine putt.
Yep.
Oh, this beautiful Discraft banner. Shout out to Discraft.
Yeah, great sponsor of this event every year.
It was kind of exciting to see all the unique plastic they had at their little vending tent all week. Gives a little bit more excitement to an event when there's special releases and things like that.
Correct. It's always a highlight. From circle 2.
Little step putt.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's a good way to start a round. Just a little off there for Harrison. Hole played a little more difficult than many of the others. This one specifically only had one birdie on the day,
Wow.
which I did not expect to see.
And it was from your future champion.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Excitement.
He surprisingly birdies many solos here. We'll talk about that as we get to him.
And there's Harrison cleaning up. So he's going to go to the bottom of the card. Everybody else knocks in that par. And now we get one of the best throws in all of disc golf.
Oh, I love this hole. Hole 3, 915 feet. No out of bounds for this tournament. You might have noticed that on hole 1 as well. So you're free to throw anywhere you want, but I highly recommend you don't go right. Lost discs have a drop zone in the fairway. You really want to get anything pushing this kind of long grass patch on the right side. You want to be short of it so that you can see the basket, and then there's just an upshot from there. Biggest difficulty will be wind control, depending on if you can get a good read or not.
Yeah, definitely with no OB, this became the second easiest hole of the
Yes.
entire round. So it's going to be fun to watch. Matt Stivers was our staff member up there at the top of hole 3. So shout out to Matt.
Doing a great job communicating with those guys down there, letting them know when something was about to fly so they could be ready to go check those woods on the right side. I don't think too many got lost this weekend.
No, surprisingly enough, there was a lot of lost later on in the round, but not on hole 3. Had some great spotters. Ty's got a nice flat release, but it looks like it's going to push over to the left. It's like Donut lost it. That's okay. Donut found it. We found a fairway.
Yeah, this without the OB, this is so safe. And in fact, 14's fairway, which is that fairway on the left there, is a little more elevated as well. So if you can get way down there, it actually makes the upshot. Doesn't really add that much distance because you're more level with the basket.
And there's Mr. Krans throwing deep.
That's a bomb. All of 550.
Even spotter loves it.
All of 550, I'd say.
All right, Harrison.
Trying to get that flip up.
Come on, turn. Flip. All right. He's going to head over there with Clint and Ty. Going to have 3 shooting from 14. And then Paul's going to be a little bit closer.
Their cluster was very, very tight here. I think everything was within 20 feet of each other.
That's great. That's a nice flat throw. Gets by that bend. Puts him circle 2-ish. A little outside of that.
Yep. This is it's still a very demanding shot. This is all a 450. It's more flat though. And with those discraft flags kind of putting up that border, it's almost, you got to kind of throw around it depending on where you landed.
All right. Paul's so polite again. I know we've mentioned it. Great family. Had their dog out there with them this week, too.
They did. And, that always makes me nervous just because dogs, you never know, one might yip or bark or see something. But their dog was very well behaved. I didn't hear a single noise out of them the entire weekend. I wanted to pet it constantly, but didn't.
That's very professional of you.
I have many regrets now.
Clint gets up there inside bullseye, so does Harrison. I assume we're going to see Ty next. Yep.
This is probably 40, 45 in that range.
He knew it right out of his hand. Shout out to Ty's tattoo artist on his left leg.
Who's that?
I have no idea who the artist is, but it's a beautiful sunset picture of a basket.
I agree. I love it.
Great play for Paul there. Makes up for that bogey on hole 1. He's back to even. Ty's sitting at 1 down. Clint's even. Harrison's going to be 1 up. Everyone's close. And we're moving into hole 4, which is one of my favorite holes on the course.
Yes, I do like hole 4 a lot.
Since 2015, Great Lakes Disc has been supporting players at all levels, from local leagues and events to professional disc golfers on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Visit GreatLakesDisc.com to learn more.
Welcome to hole 4. It's a beautiful and challenging hole. Most players are going to try to land to the left of these small bunches of trees, and some are going to try to push over the top, and then you have to enter this well-guarded green with a very challenging uphill, and it wouldn't be Toboggan without a very challenging downhill right behind the basket.
Correct. Many of the baskets are on like these little knolls or little mounds with backdrops.
Turtlebacks, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
Ty, he's going to miss that pine tree. Then he's going to start ducking left. Boom, he's going to be fine. He's going to have some options. Spotter chair right there.
I think this play that Ty just did is the safe play if you're trying to take an easy 4, maybe a 3, because those trees really guard that approach shot. You got to throw something fast and try to skip it up the hill. What Paul's trying to do is the more aggressive play, which is hitting a tighter gap on the right side of those pine trees, but you get farther past them which means it opens up and you can be a little more aggressive to that gap.
Yes. You know, at 580 feet and only a par 4, this did play as the easiest hole on the entire course day one. And you'll see why, but definitely still got some bogeys and double bogeys out there.
This is low, catches some cabbage. It's going to be short, but it will be in the fairway. Harrison here. Looks like a Zeus or a Hades in his hands.
Yeah, definitely from the Paul line. Judging by the flight, I would say that was a Zeus or Onyx.
Just pushed it a little right. It's going to be stuck in some tough spots there.
Yep. We'll forehand get out here. Get back in the play area. Yep.
Smart.
All right, Clint's got some distance here still. He's got to choose to play under the tree line or over the tree line.
And he smacks one of those.
He goes kind of in between and unfortunately gets hung up.
Yeah.
Harrison's going to have some room to play with the skip. Let's see if that goes up the hill well for him. Come on. Come on.
Beautiful.
That was the right shot from there, I think.
Yeah, and it's a difficult shot to execute as well. Keeping it that low and committed, because if you throw it any lower, you can burn yourself in the grass and give yourself no putt at all.
Ty finds a line, commits.
Breaks.
Hopefully doesn't go too far down that hill.
Nope, stayed right there. Can't really see it from the camera angle. And the shade is doing an excellent job of camouflaging. Paul kind of soft a little bit on that upshot, but is within circle.
Hopefully Clint just follows the vapor trails of Paul and Harrison and goes up there, settles in nice.
I thought this shot looked so risky out of his hand because he didn't try to use the hill at all. He tried to just place it by the basket, and that's how you get rollaways, but he lands it perfectly and well executed for give him a par save there, I think. Ooh.
Maybe some jitters today for Paul. All right, Ty. Let's get this circle's edge putt. Boom.
No problems. Ty is looking confident and comfortable right now.
There you go, Paul. Oh, that's not
That's
Paul. That's
Harrison.
Harrison. Sorry. There was Paul. Harrison and Paul settled in for a par. Now Clint looking to do the same.
Nice and easy. No bogeys.
Moving on to hole 5. What do you have to say about hole 5, my friend?
Oh, I think it's my new favorite hole on the course from last year, and I think it only got more beautiful this year at 480 feet. You just got to throw something straight. I would call it the Calvin Heimberg special, something on a rope the whole way. If you drift right, I think it's a little more dangerous than if you drift left, unless you go left high. Left high is really bad, but right, all those little plinko trees are really difficult to get out of. You just want to get down as far as possible. Try to give yourself a 2-look if you can.
Yeah, I think it's important to give Dave from the Parks Department a huge shout out here. This is in Kensington Metro Parks, and Dave has been working hard with John Menacucci, the TD, and everyone over at Discraft to make sure that this is looking just fantastic. So Thank you to all those hours.
And this hole kind of, I know the players feel like when you see a hole like this just looks like a major, feels like a major, and Paul has thread the needle and put himself in circle there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot.
This is turned over a little bit. It's going to get kicked off to the left side of the fairway.
And take the kick into the fairway over the kick out of the fairway.
Very true. Kick right would have been disastrous from there. Harrison.
Got to stay straighter. Finish out. Get through. Get through.
He's pretty far down there, though.
Yeah, he got a lot of it out.
Now, Ty was in trouble here. He's way up on the hill. Like I said, you don't want to be up here at all. He's forced to go forehand, which is not his specialty, and he just lays this on a perfect line, puts it right on circle's edge. That was an incredible shot.
Yeah, for a guy who does not like to forehand, that was a really good shot for him.
Clint a little more open, going for the cameraman, skips off the log and is actually going to go deep. If he'd been maybe 2 or 3 inches lower, it would have hit the log and deflected it into circle.
Looks like Harrison's got at least an angle to get there. Yep. Ooh, man. I don't think he's going to miss that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He might have to watch his head, though.
Yeah.
Clint in danger of losing his par streak here. Oh, just a touch short. Par out here today is a very good score. Par for the course was rated 995 on the day. Ty unable to save his par there, but...
And here we go with Paul, who's finally getting a chance to shoot that too. Ooh.
Just a touch too high.
Yep, that'll happen. This hole did end up playing as the 5th hardest hole on day 1.
It does. I think a lot of that has to do with people making the incorrect disc selection, actually, and not necessarily choosing to pick flight. They either choose something too flippy, trying to control it, and they end up leaking right, or they pick something they think is straight and is more stable than they believe, and they end up getting too far into trouble on the left.
Yeah, I did have the honor of walking the course with Kyle Klein and a few of his friends there during his coverage of Deglo last year. And everyone on his card, Ricky and Conrad, everyone went mid-range real straight right off the tee. And we're not worried about that.
Speaking of difficult holes, I think this one's pretty tough at hole 6, 519 feet. Another beautiful one. The grass makes this hole gorgeous. But you want to get to the landing zone. Perfect drive would be right where the drone is right now. Then you want to carry it over this valley into the second green. Thankfully, this has grass on it now, slows down kind of the rollaways that the dirt used to have, but still a very difficult hole.
This is a true golf hole. There is a placement and then a second placement to really try to get the birdie.
I agree.
If you're going to score, you have to place twice.
Well executed by Paul. He's going to be in the fairway. Just from talking with many of the players there before they teed off and after and between the rounds of all 3 days, this is one of their least favorite holes to play because of how demanding the tee shot is. I don't think they hate the hole specifically. I think they're just like, man, this is hard.
Yeah, I think the difficulty is obviously up there. But man, is it beautiful.
Oh, I love this. And shout out to the weather. Whoever programmed today's being, just under 80 all 3 days. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, we do our best with that. We do have to pay a small nominal fee to the park for weather, but yeah, it works out.
Worth it, let me just say. Oh, just too much inside for Clint. He's going to be ricocheted off to the left side. Not where you want to be, but he can save a par from here with 2 good shots. And he hits another tree. He's going to be in the fairway, but back quite a ways.
It looks like he overturns this one. Gravity is going to help that get all the way down.
He's going to find his first valley of the day.
I like Harrison's throw here. He goes for it.
Looks really clean there.
Yep.
A lot of players were talking about when they get off the tee, they'd prefer to be a little more right than left. Kind of opens up either the turnover or the forehand, whatever you got. Ty is finding the left gap, and he's turned this over beautifully.
Look at that settle in there nicely.
Oh, yeah, 20 feet at the most. Paul's going to go with a forehand here. Needs to get a little skip. A little short.
Yeah, but short is still safe, and that's okay right there. Now we're going to have Clint down at the valley, looking up at the landing zone.
Needs to get up and down here. Try to limit the damage. Gets a friendly roll.
Yeah, a little healthy roll towards the bucket. No one ever complained about that.
This is a scary putt. If he misses, it's 40, 50 feet deep.
Don't worry, he's not going to miss.
Cash. I just want to say that to add suspense. I knew Paul had it the whole way.
Well, you did film it.
That's fair. That means I have to remember it, too.
Shout out to Alaska Peninsula Plumbing and Mechanics.
I think so.
Machinery.
Touch off to the right side there.
I think Clint's going to be happy to have this hole over with.
Yeah, this is kind of adding a few strokes more than what he wants.
Yeah, Harrison really played this hole really well.
Yes.
I mean, his turnover backhand to land where it was just landed so nicely.
I like how we got to saw both. Oh, no. But we got to see both from Harrison and from Paul, that execution of backhand, and a backhand, forehand.
Yeah.
We get to see a little bit of both. And Ty's going to sneak that one in.
A little bit of an exhale after that one settles, I assume.
Big one.
Yeah. Well, Clint got the purple square. No one wants the purple square, but moving on.
Just kept telling myself, one shot at a time, just worry about your shot and not anything else.
What a shot. Here's Dickerson.
You can't control what anybody else does, so.
That was incredible. When he needed it most.
Two-time major champion, Chris Dickerson.
All right, back on hole 7 here. 667 feet.
Not 666 feet.
No, and I didn't even have to change it. They did that. Thank you.
Yes.
But here's the landing zone. You want to put it in this first fairway. Dangerous is to miss early left. Then from there, it's another upshot. This one is a safer kind of mound to throw at because you can throw it a little more aggressively and low and try to get a little skip up to the basket here if you're open on your second shot.
Yeah, 7 did end up playing as the 5th hardest hole on day 1. You can see why with that tight landing zone.
It's way tighter than people think. It's like, oh, it's just a simple hyzer. And Paul really, in that case, got a little lucky not going into the woods there. I think he had a little more flare coming out of that disc, and it just didn't quite pop up. So he's fortunately going to be in the fairway.
Harrison's leaking left also.
This is in danger of... Yeah,
Right on the trunk.
Unfortunate landing position. You do not want to be that far back and that far left. Kind of cuts off a birdie opportunity. I wonder what this is for Ty. I don't know his drivers at all, but I have good guesses based on how they fly. I would that kind of looks like an Octane to me, but I'm just not sure. All my fans here on the YouTube, go ahead and take a guess in the comments. What disc from MVP do you think Ty threw there?
And Ty, when you watch, just put it in the comments what disc it was.
Give it a day. Give it a day. Let people really squirm, not know what it is. This has got to be a pitch out. Oh, he's getting kind of aggressive.
I have been in that spot before. It's not the greatest.
Yeah. Clint on the first hill here. I mean, this is a good pump to get across, say, all of 360, 370 to get all the way across the hill from one end to the other. Clint's going to find that early woods on the right.
Ty.
It was so close.
It's so close, Ty. For the turnover forehand.
Yeah, interesting play here. He's going to catch some...
A little bit of cabbage. Going to slow him down.
Yeah. But he's through the gap. It's all green from there. It's all putts. Paul also going to go with the turnover forehand. He's going to catch some stuff as well, but power through it. Yeah, that's what you want to do. That's setting up for a nice 3 for Paul there.
There you go, Ty.
Yep, keep it simple.
Well, Clint can see the basket at least in this little step out. Settle in nicely. Should be able to clean that up.
Harrison with a long look. 70, 80 feet. Way uphill. It's going to be by the basket. A little tap in. After a slow start, Paul's looking really clean now.
Yep. Just had to warm his engines up a little bit. I take 2 down through 7 on any course.
That's very true. I'll take down on any course at any point.
Yeah.
Even on a single hole, I'll take it.
Yep. Clint settles in for his par. Good recovery after the triple. Ty knocking in his par. Fortunate bogey there for Harrison, but he's got another opportunity coming up here.
And another par 4, hole 8. What do we got?
Hole 8 is a 500-foot gap first worry. So worry about that gap. And then you want to fade out and get up this hill as much as you can at the same time. I will tell you, the farther left you can, the better second shot you have coming up and around the corner. This is one of the rare holes where OB does come into play, meaning you don't want to cook your second shot and have it go up into that road. A lot of people misjudge this hill and don't make it up there enough.
Correct.
Every time I've played this course, people just don't put enough power on. But Paul heard my advice and worried about the gap first, and then found himself with plenty of space once he's out there. A lot of people worry about their placement, and they just got to get through the gap first.
Ty nearly getting the gap, just leaked a little too high there.
Yeah. It's kind of about the size of a soccer goal you're throwing through right there. Oh, that's a good kick for Clint, though, I think.
Yeah, he gapped the first 2 big trees and then hit a skinny tree back into the fairway, so he'll take that.
Harrison making a nice recovery after the bogey, giving himself a clean look.
Within 3 inches of each other, those 2 discs.
Yeah. All right. Ty's got a really difficult shot now.
I feel like from this distance and this far back, I mean, without elite power, you really just got to play for the position. Ty here tried to get a little aggressive, and he hit the top of that pine tree and is now at the base of it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Looking at that shot with my very am arm, I'm thinking right side the whole way.
Clint trying to go for a roller there, leaves it just a little too far left, catches the long grass, and gets caught up early.
Looks like that might have been a Buzz or Buzz SS.
Yeah, Harrison threw a couple times. I'll probably make a mention of it in the future because there's a hole specifically I think of where he grabs a disc like that, and I'm just really surprised.
Yeah. Mr. Krans snuck through, but not going to make it all the way through the cabbage. Overall, hole 8 playing pretty difficult for our card right now. How did it do for the field?
Averaged just .04 over par, 4.04, so pretty easy in relation to all the other holes. It played as the 3rd easiest. So luckily for these guys, taking a 4, they're not losing too many strokes, but there were a plethora of birdies out there on the day.
Yeah, again, I don't have a power arm. I'm not that talented. Throwing the Frisbees, this is one of the holes I look at and hope for a 3. Hope is the key word in that sentence. Ooh! Paul tries to run one through the woods.
He's going for that first crew view.
Yeah. More importantly, you got that big hill behind the basket. It's basically a backstop. Let it rip. Maybe Ty's going to let one rip here.
Oh, Ty said he was going for this. Ty and I have a really good relationship. He was actually on our first tournament coverage ever, the Kalamazoo Open back in 2019. He was in round 2, and he's been wanting to be on the channel very badly. He didn't have a great round 2, fell off the lead card after that, and he's wanted a chance for redemption, and he's doing a really good job of that so far. Got a couple cleanups left here. Ty tapping in his unfortunate bogey there. Checking out the disc that was left on top of the basket. I don't know whose it was.
That does happen.
Hole 9. Here's our first fresh brand new hole, right? And I really like this adjustment. It's no longer a dogleg left. It is a kind of a pipeline straight shot. No OB to speak of, but if there's a drop zone, if you lose a disc to the left. This kind of sits on a knoll. This one has a kind of backstop. They're talking about maybe changing it for the Great Lakes Open, but for right now, our guys are going to try to figure out how to maneuver this pin position, which dead straight shot. If you have that fairway or mid-range control, you can kind of attack it that way, or throw a big hyzer around those trees if you can try to get that spike, but you're probably going to get kicked down the hill.
Yeah, I think the design here is great. Again, shout out to all the hard work. Also, shout out to the tournament staff and getting the waiver from the PDGA for that drop zone. I think it sped up the pace of play really well. So if you do lose a disc off of your tee, let's say it's unrecoverable like this shot, you get to throw your third shot from the drop zone. It speeds up pace of play, doesn't send anyone back up that hill. It's a pretty good, fair thing to do, I think.
Yeah, losing a disc on this course and having to go re-tee is probably one of the worst things in the world on some of these holes.
Yeah.
Thinking of like hole 11, I think it is. That would be awful.
Yeah.
Harrison's going to get caught up in that bush on the right side of the basket, which is a popular landing zone for the backhand. Ty turned, like, kind of releases this late. Gets knocked down, but it's only long grass underneath that. There's no big stuff in the way, so he's going to be fortunate to have a clean run up here.
Ty's got his signature half hop. You can see Ty throwing all across the courses in Michigan. Very recognizable throw.
Clint with the pro shot landed in a clean spot there, so was very fortunate not to lose anything. Harrison finds a tiny little gap.
Oh, and he runs it and splashes.
So close.
You know, it's definitely exciting for me to see these shots. I know that you obviously recorded them, but being the guy that stood at hole 1 for, 3 straight days, I didn't get to see too many bonus shots. So it's nice seeing some of these great players try stuff that, I wouldn't think of.
Paul for his 2. As a whole, let's see how this one played. Probably kind of the middle of the pack for difficulty. Averaging 3.17. I'm assuming that just kind of cash it up to some people not sure how to play the hole, get more aggressive, find themselves with a missed C1 putt there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the day 2 and day 3 scores for 9 are.
Yeah.
I can see more people getting aggressive on 9 as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, it's just one of those holes that if you've never played it before, which many of these people haven't or have only played it once or twice, once you see other people's game plans, you adjust yours to figure out what the best one is, and you can really make it easier to get that 3 or even give yourself that birdie look potentially if you've taken a bogey before. But there's our front 9 there. Taking a look at it, Paul with a slow start is now leading the card at neck 2. Ty with a couple hiccups there at the end of his round, but even is still very solid, 1,000 rated. And Clint and Harrison just behind them, trying to get caught up here on the back 9.
Shout out to our Patreon family. Don't be afraid to hop in there, say hello, keep the wonderfulness of the Crew 42 coming back to see beautiful tournaments in the bags, flyovers, anything.
Yeah,
you name it, we do it at Crew 42.
That's right.
Look at that beautiful man.
Oh yeah, had to get some B-roll with you in there.
Yeah. Shaved prior to that, took a little bit of the gray out. Still looking really gray.